Todd's Odds, brought to you by FanDuel with our sports betting expert, Todd Fuhrman. Of course, we're 10 days away from the Super Bowl. So, Todd, I understand if, for bettors, placing the wagers might not exactly be top of mind yet, but is there an area you like to attack before all that big money starts flowing in next week?
So we can peel back the curtain a bit, Jay, in terms of how professional bettors look to attack that long grocery list of available options for a game of this magnitude. And it's not going to be the most exciting way to try and go about your business. But more often than not, we're looking to bet against human achievement, hoping that nothing happens in the football game, because the human brain is always wired to root for overs, to root for yeses, and try and take advantage of some of those long shot prices that are out there. But the one tidbit I will give to folks who may be diving into prop betting for the first time, treat it like a menu at a restaurant. You can't look at the appetizers, the main courses, and the desserts all at the same time. You have to section it out, narrow your choices down, and gradually move through things before you arrive at your final decision.
What about the Super Bowl MVP? Right now, Patrick Mahomes, Saquon Barkley, the overwhelming favorites, but is there someone else on the board that we should be taking a look at?
I think it's always interesting because for years we said there was opportunity and upside if you wanted to bet the quarterback for the team that you thought was going to win the big game. And lo and behold, odds makers aren't dumb. So what have they done? They're forcing you to pay a premium if you want to back Patrick Mahomes at a shade better than even money, while the money line hangs out in that minus 125, minus 130 range. But what's interesting for Philadelphia is Saquon Barkley's odds, as you allude to, shorter than the starting quarterback. And look, Jalen Hurts wasn't a slouch in their win against the Commanders. I know Saquon may be the narrative guy, but I think Jalen Hurts at a price approaching 4-1 might be worth a small investment if you think Philadelphia comes out on top.
Todd, our mutual friend Luke Wilson and I noticed something after Patrick Mahomes' speech at the AFC Championship last week, and that's the fact that the Lord is making a comeback. And it's not shocking that the novelty bet, who will the Super Bowl MVP thank first in their post-game speech, has an overwhelming favorite, and that's God. So, Todd, my question for you is God the lock of the century?
It's so interesting when you look at these markets and you see the changing trends of players and who they want to thank after some of the big games. I mean, Patrick Mahomes went right to the microphone, and that was his number one out. But you're seeing it priced accordingly, Jay. And while I wouldn't say making a living betting against God is always going to be in your best interest, I do think there are two categories on the list at FanDuel that offer a little bit of opportunity and upside. You can always go with thanking your teammates, and wouldn't it be great, and probably sit in my craw as a Giants fan growing up, if Saquon Barkley was the MVP and decided to thank the organization just to stick it to his former employer there. So I think those are the two value propositions rather than banking on the Lord himself.
If he thanks Joe Shane, I like my odds really, really good there. Are you ready to pick a winner of Super Bowl LIX, Todd Fuhrman?
I mean, look, Jay, we've kept everybody glued to their seat all season long from opening kickoff of that barn burner between the Chiefs and the Ravens. Why am I going to give away the goods now when I can share it at this time next week? So we know we can bring everybody back, and we're all really excited to see how many phone books James Duthie is going to stand on this year to see over those beautiful balconies on Bourbon Street.
I'm 100% with you, but I know our viewers are going to want you to pick something here. So how about the Pro Bowl flag football competition? Can you pick a winner in that one?
I mean, can I bet an over-under on Russell Wilson thanking the Lord for just being included in this particular game? Because I only think he graded out as the 9th or 10th best quarterback in the AFC. But, Jay, I'm all about responsible gaming, and if folks are really trying to bet the glorified exhibition down there in Orlando, there may be a hotline our friends at FanDuel are welcome to share with everybody in Ontario and across the great country of Canada.
Todd, you're great. Can't wait to chat with you next week and get your Super Bowl pick. We'll chat with you then, my friend. Have a terrific weekend.
Always a pleasure, my friend.
Don't forget, we've got the On Rights and Wrongs coming up next, Canada's most popular sports television segment.